All right, I hit record on this end.
Okay, the third show. I am Vinnie Tortorich. Folks, your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed. I am Vinnie Tortorich. Folks, your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed. Yeah, there she is, Miss Deborah Harry. And I got to tell you, man, whenever I watched this video, every time she was so young back then. And now, yeah, I think I want to say she's 80 years old. I could be off on that. Maybe, you know who can usually help me with this is the guy on the other mic, Mr. Chris Shaffer. Yeah. Chris, I need you to do some quick ciphering for me. How old was Deborah Harry when that song "Call Me" came out? It's probably around 1979. So
she's 80 now.
I know that's what kills me. I'm watching her do cartwheels on the beach and everything else, and she's singing and she's in a little bathing suit doing cartwheels on the beach in the video. So if she's 80 now, that song had to come out, what, 78, 79? That's when the movie came out.
Let's find out.
American Gigolo. I'm guessing it's that old, that movie.
1980. February 1st, 1980.
Okay, so that's, 46 years ago?
Yep. So she would have been 34, if I can math.
Yeah, 34 years old. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, life just goes by that fast because for me, that song feels like it's 5 minutes old. And now Deborah Harry is 80. Oh, God. It's over with. It's a call-in show, obviously, and we got a couple of people here. Who's up first?
I think Miss Laura is up first. Miss Laura, if you can turn your camera and your mic back on, we'll bring you on in.
There she is. Hey, Laura, how are you?
I am doing good today. How are you?
Good. Where are you in the world with a fan in the background?
Cincinnati.
And it's cold there today. What are you doing a fan on?
Heck yes. Like the warmest day in the next 2 weeks, we're going to have a high of 40.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ohio gets, I lived in Kentucky for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And Kentucky is right next to Ohio. Those places, they get what's called a clipper, folks, that comes through. They just call them clippers. And at first I was like, oh, what's a clipper? That sounds kind of cute. It means that the whole place will just be frostbitten for the next whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts.
Just stay inside is what it means.
Yeah.
Unless you're a freak and like to be outside in 20 degrees or teen temperatures.
Yeah, and it's in the teens, and it's when the wind is blowing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which makes it feels like sub-zero. So I'm sure you didn't call to talk to me about the weather. What are we talking about today?
Well, I'd love to talk about everything and anything related to me trying to get fit. A little background: I am probably your definition of that soft and succulent because I was a music and theater girl. I've never been an athlete. I enjoy hiking. I enjoy kayaking. But at 51, and office job for the last 20 years. I've hit that point where hiking is challenging, and I've said enough is enough. I'm going to do the exercise stuff like my husband does, and I'm really just at that stage where I'm trying your workouts. I'm trying the 2 a week because with my schedule and we have a trip to Ireland coming up in 47 days. And I'm trying to be ready to do some of the hiking around the mountains and such around there. So I'm doing treadmill walks and doing, hill settings on that. So I do some at like 0.5 incline and I do some at 4. I was adventurous the other day and took it up to 10, but I was doing a pace of like 1.2, just to not have my heart rate go crazy. And I'm actually doing trips up and down the stairs. I found a guy who it's Fit to Trails. I don't remember what his name is, but he suggested doing stair climbing and training. So I go up and down from my basement to our main level. And so my knees are cranky. And was actually wanting to talk to you a little bit about CBD because I'd like to avoid the Tylenol. I know you've mentioned one, I think American Shaman on one of your podcasts, and just I think the bottle that you showed on that was the immune version. I was curious why necessarily immune version versus
that I don't know. I don't know much about CBD. I just know that it works.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And American Shaman, they sent me a bunch of that stuff. And I tried one and I tried the other. The interesting thing about theirs is it's an oil, but it's emulsified, so it mixes with water.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to work really well. I've had the same amount of success with CBD oil that you put they call it a tincture. You just put it under your tongue. I've had the same amount of success with that. I'm not a daily user of CBD, but whenever I do get like a spasm or something because I've overdone it, instead of taking any NSAID, right? Any non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, I'll take that. And the one I would normally take is just ibuprofen, right? And folks, you'll go, what about naproxen? Yeah, they're all the same thing. Sorry, they're all the same. Doesn't matter which version you take, they all work about the same. Aspirin, naproxen, ibuprofen, they're all in the same group. They all have a side effect of they screw with your stomach and your liver. CBD doesn't. The downside to CBD is that it does not work as well as those drugs. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not going to, I don't have any relationship with any CBD company. They do not work as well. Sorry. And I've taken, and by the way, not all CBD is equal. So if you see like the smoke shop on the corner and they go, hey, we sell kratom and CBD, that's probably not going to be the same stuff that you get, the high-end stuff on the internet. Yeah. And you'll say, well, Vinnie, what brand? You brought up American Shaman, right? I don't have any ties to that company other than the guy who was on the show talking about CBD. I don't know if it's any better or any worse. He's got a unique thing where he's emulsified the stuff and it mixes with water. Tastes nasty. I'm going to be honest with you. Putting what I call the bong water version under your tongue, because it's like it. I've never smoked a joint in my life, but I lived in a dormitory, and it all smells like bong water to me.
Okay.
But you put a little bit under your tongue, and it doesn't work right away. You got to do it a day or two, and then you feel better.
Yeah.
So it's not as good as the drug, but also you don't get the side effects,
right?
Which is also good.
Yeah. How do you tell if one is a good brand versus not? Anything that you figured out along the way?
No. Hang on. Sorry, folks. I had to hit the cough button here. What I figured out was price matters. The more expensive stuff, you'll go, why is this $120 or $75 or whatever it is versus what you could get in a head shop for like 25 or 30 bucks.
Mhm.
It's because you're getting an actual dose of the stuff, the good stuff, right? And it's, you got to go on and do the research, right? And there's a bunch of brands. Chris, can you pull up some of the nicer brands of that stuff on the internet, and we could give her 2 or 3 choices, please?
Yeah, I'll do a little bit of digging while you guys are chatting.
Yeah. And I'll tell you if I've tried that brand or not. But, you know, when I first started looking at it, I wanted to take kind of a scientific approach to it. So I was like, okay, what's a dose, right? Like some of these things will say triple dose and double dose. It's like, well, what's a dose?
Yeah.
Right. So that's the first thing you have to figure out, because, you know, you have to figure out which dose you're taking. So you have to do a lot of kind of self-research. And then when you start figuring that part out, and you can figure this out like within an hour or so on the internet, and then you start looking at the brands. And there was a brand I used and I really liked, and it was cheaper than the rest because they sell it nationwide. And I think Anna tried it and she liked it. Or not Anna, I think her husband, who, you know, he's like I am. He's an old dude that plays golf and everything else, and he was getting back problems. And Chris will probably come up with those brands in just a minute. I just can't. They just don't stick in my brain because I don't use them enough.
I get it.
But I also found, I lived near Albemarle County here in Virginia. There was a local place that makes it, and turns out they were good. You know, of course, it's like 85 bucks for a little vial of this stuff, right? So for a lot of people, it's cost prohibitive, especially when you can buy, you know, ibuprofen for almost nothing.
Yeah.
Right. So it costs. So I get it when people go, and look, if I'm on the mountain and I'm hiking and I fall and I hurt myself, I'm taking ibuprofen. Sorry, it's in my backpack. I don't have time for CBD. I can't do the hippie kumbaya thing and wait. I need to feel better now to get off of this mountain. My life depends on it.
Yeah.
Right.
So the reason I've started using some of the CBD is knees. And so, you know, I do the stairs, and most commonly it's the steps that is bugging me. And it's like the inside of my knee, like from top to bottom, that gets uncomfortable. When I try to do squats, I'm at like maybe a 135 angle or so before my knees are like, it feels like things are shifting in there. And you can, like, if you're standing next to me, you'd hear them clicking, popping, whatever that is that's going on. Now I have a mother, a father, and a sister who had both knees replaced, and a brother who's had one. So of course there's this chirping in my brain of, are my knees going bad? Should I not be doing stairs? You know, and then there's the, am I just being dumb and fearful? Any thoughts?
Oh, well, it's in between. So here's the thing. If you're not, the reason the stairs are hurting right now is because it's something you're not used to. You have a sedentary lifestyle. You sit in a chair to work, and, you know, it's not your fault. That's just what happened.
Yeah.
Right. You know, it's not your fault. You're smart and you get to sit down and make a living. Right. And when you're dumb like me, you have to use your body to make a living. You know, you need to stay warmed up. The problem is that you started causing some inflammation, and instead of letting it calm down and go away, you woke up the next morning and say, hey, let me go do the stupid thing again. You got to stop doing the stupid thing that's causing the problem.
Okay.
Right. And as your knees get stronger, as you do more exercise, like we know the treadmill works because you did that without much problem. I would tell you not to worry about going to 10.
Okay.
Right. Once you get past 5 or 6 on the incline, you want to start breathing more heavily and get your heart rate to go up more. Just increase the speed.
Okay.
Right. And a lot of times whenever I'm training for mountains and everything, I'll play around. I'll go as high as 9 or 10 if I know I have to do a real steep climb, but I'll spend more time. You know, if I'm at 10, my speed is probably at 3.5 or 3.2 or something. And then I'll keep it there for a while. And to keep my heart rate the same, I'll go back down to level 4 or 5 and then speed up, maybe even get into a slow jog to hit the same heart rate. Right. So you're playing with the speed. And
that's exactly what I do with the hills and the incline that I've been doing, is I adjust my speed based on what incline I'm on. So
yeah. And the other thing you might want to look at, do you have a stair climber in your gym? Like a,
No.
because that's a good way, because the uphill is not going to hurt you. It's the downhill, right?
Mhm.
And that's what's going to hurt you in the hikes. That's why it's good that you're doing some of it now,
Mhm, mhm.
right? A lot of times I would tell people, if it's a mountainous race on foot, it's not the uphill that's going to get you. It's the down. You'll feel like shit going uphill because you're huffing and puffing the whole way, but you'll start coming downhill going, oh, I feel pretty good. And then a half an hour later, you're going to go, my hips are on fire, my knees are on fire, and I just want to chop myself off at the ankles because my ankles are on fire.
Mhm.
That takes getting used to. You have to train for that,
Okay.
right? That's something that people just don't understand. Chris, do you have any of those CBDs pulled up?
Almost all of these ones that I'm finding have some sort of a flavor to it, which I'm not a fan of. But Lazarus Naturals seems to have a pretty good one. It's just CBD and coconut oil if you get their classic one that's not flavored. American Shaman keeps coming up. Sagely is another one that seems to be fairly clean. And then there's a Charlotte's, I think it's called Charlotte's Web, but they're currently out of their unflavored one.
Usually,
The one I have now has a peppermint flavor, and I'm okay with the peppermint.
yeah, a lot of them add a flavor to them because they, again, bong water, right? And you know, yeah, I've had the peppermint stuff before.
As long as it's coming from something like an essential oil, that's probably okay. But if you see natural flavors, that can be a lot of things, including adding some things in there that you don't necessarily want, like some sugar.
Yeah.
Apparently, Cheech and Chong sells their own, so we'll have to dig into that one, Vinny, just for you.
You don't say. Yeah, there are a lot of good ones out there. I've heard, Charlotte's Web. I think I've ordered from them before. There was another one I told Anna about. It's a pretty big one, and they keep prices down, right? I think there's competition now, so the prices have to come down a bit, which is a good thing.
Okay.
But again, don't expect miracles out of it.
Oh yeah.
And when we get older, there are certain things that may or may not help. Taking pure MSM could help a joint, but again, you have to take it for a long time.
Okay.
Months. When I say a long time, you'll go, why did I just spend all this money on this product and it's not really working? Well, it takes a long time for, because it's working, your body has to build up a resistance to it. MSM is similar to chondroitin and glucosamine.
Okay.
Again, finding those two very pure products, very hard to find. They're out there. I think Pure Encapsulation will have probably the purest form of those, but I hope you make a lot of money because they ain't cheap. I'm shocked that, that's why I hate recommending this, but if you're going, I don't want you to ruin your vacation. You got 45 days. Probably wouldn't hurt to start on a regimen of MSM from Chris. Can you look at Pure Encapsulations MSM and see if it's if there's anything other than cellulose or something like that, which is fine. That's
just the regular MSM or the MSM glucosamine.
Look at both of them. I'd rather her take straight MSM and glucosamine separately because then she'd get a full dose of both. I hate when they start mixing them together because now you're getting a half a loaf of each, which is not good.
Yeah, so in their caps, it's just MSM and then cellulose.
That's right.
In the powder, it's just MSM.
Yeah, and I'm going to guess that MSM tastes like crap. So, but you can hold your nose and just gut it down in some water. And
yes,
what about, do they have
for their powder?
Go on.
It's derived from sulfur, so it's probably not going to taste great.
Sulfur never tastes
like
good.
a rotten egg smells.
It's going to taste like that. But again, we're trying to get a result here. Chris, what about their glucosamine? Do they have a pure glucosamine? Almost no one makes a straight glucosamine.
Let's look. They do. It's a glucosamine MSM, and then testing my spelling skills on the fly here.
Oh gosh.
Glucosamine HCl, and then they have glucosamine chondroitin with manganese, glucosamine sulfate. They have just as a standalone.
And it's just glucosamine sulfate
and cellulose, and then they also have that. They have a glucosamine complex, which is sulfate, HCl, and N-acetyl glucosamine.
Just get the straight glucosamine. Yeah, look, I wrote the book Monty based on something I saw happen with a horse. A horse does not have placebo effect happening. Mm-hmm. They don't know that you're adding. The product was called Cosequin, which is pure glucosamine, for horses. Okay. And I was dating. I was engaged to a woman years ago that had show horses out in Kentucky, and they would just add Cosequin if they had problems with their joints. Mm-hmm. I've seen horses turn, like these horses were supposed to be turned out to pasture, ended up in the show ring again, right? Just based on Cosequin. And that's when I went, oh, glucosamine works. The thing that most horse people, because again, it's expensive. You're pouring this on their sweet feed twice a day. Mm-hmm. The problem that most horse people have is they'll go, oh, I've been doing this for 2 months and there's no results. You got to keep doing it, right? None of this stuff is miracle stuff. But if you start taking it now, if you order it now, and you start taking the MSM and the glucosamine, the straight stuff, from pure encapsulation, you have a good chance that your joints will be oiled up by the time you get there. Because if you're 51, I don't want to get into your business too much, but I'm guessing that you're either at pre, peri, post, or somewhere near something called menopause.
Oh yeah, all that fun stuff, and working with the doc for correcting some of the trials and tribulations, we'll call it.
Yeah, and that's what, you're going to feel better in a couple of years, but you're not going on your trip in a couple of years. You're going on your trip now. Right. And
when you say pure glucosamine, should I look for the glucosamine sulfate?
Yeah.
The pure?
Yeah. Chris, I'm just asking for a friend, Chris, my friend Laura here. What are they charging? What are they charging over there at Pure Encapsulation for this? This stuff is not cheap. Because we own a supplement company. I know what the raw ingredients for something made from sulfate is. What are they charging for that stuff?
So for their 250 cap bottle, $57.60. The thing with Pure Encapsulations is they have a bunch of different sizes, and they're always listed as different products on their site. Yeah. So I sent Laura a few links, but you may want to dig around a little bit. It looks like on those, the smallest that's just pure glucosamine is the 250, and then they have a 360. For the powder itself, they charge $38.
Okay.
So if you can stomach a glass of rotten eggs, then
yeah, I mean the capsules will travel better once I'm over there to keep up the regimen. So
yeah, whenever they see white powder in your suitcase, they tend to open your suitcase. Well,
yeah. Fair point.
So
yeah, fair point.
You might want to get the capsules, but if you start right now, you'll be probably $100 deep, because he said 250 and 350 and all that kind of stuff. That's a lot of product. And you can probably start feeling the effects of it within 30 days. So it might be worth it for you to spend that money.
Yeah. Any idea? I see one of the links he sent me is 1,000 milligrams. Is that what I'm looking at? What kind of dosage and strength should I look for?
I don't know. I don't know what the UL is in that. But Chris, what are they calling a serving?
Serving on the caps is 2 caps, and it'd be 1,700 milligrams on the MSM. I'm doing a little bit of digging right now. It looks like most people are between 1,500 and 2,000 dosage wise.
If you took their dosage in the morning, so I would tell you at first, since they're saying 2 capsules a dose, for the first 3 or 4 days, take 1 cap in the morning, 1 cap in the evening, and then increase it to 2 in the morning, 2 at night. And, while you're exercising, that's going to help work it in. And I think you could go along with that stuff.
I'm sorry, did you say like a week at the 1 a.m. p.m.?
Yeah, 5 days. Just make sure you're not getting headaches or anything, or stomach upset.
Okay.
Just a few days of just checking something out is always a good idea. Rome wasn't built in a day. And then you could double it up. And because you're not going to be taking this long term, we're trying to get you to this trip. And by the way, if it ends up working, you might want to go on a regimen of it. I hate being on regimens like that, but if it's working, you can go back down to the regular dose, split it up every day, and take a little in the morning, a little at night, so that you don't end up like your brother and your mother and everyone else with the fake joints.
That's the goal. That's the goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Any guidance for, so like I'm trying to do 2 60-minute treadmill walks a week, plus your workout twice a week, plus the stairs twice a week or once a week. And there's some times where the struggle is real to get off the couch. And is it fatigue? Is it mental? Is it, am I doing too much?
It's generally mental. So I do a thing where if I don't want to work out, I will tell myself, okay, Vin, you just have to get dressed and go to the gym and do 1 set. Not one exercise, just 1 set of 1 exercise. And you can leave and tell yourself you worked out that day. I have never left the gym before I finished the workout doing that. When I'm doing it at home, it becomes a lot easier, right? Because, I'll tell myself, okay, I got to get on that rowing machine. Oh, but wait, Chris just called. Now I got to get on a rowing machine. Oh, wait, now I got to go do it. If I just tell myself before I get on the phone with Chris, I just have to do 5 minutes on that rowing machine, I've never stopped after 5 minutes, ever.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to get on the machine and then everything else works itself out.
Yeah. So with 60 minutes on a treadmill wears me out. It's a good workout for me. Rowing and your strength stuff, I'm at anywhere. Most of my leg exercises that I do are at 0 and 10 pounds because that's all I've got in the tank. And so rowing machine, is that pure cardio? It feels like there's some muscle conditioning in there a little bit.
It's pure cardio. It's not pure, like if you're going for a PR to 500 meters, that's anaerobic, right?
Okay.
That's like, a guy like me can get there in a minute and something, right? And your body's not getting it. It's an aerobic exercise that literally works about 90% of the muscles in your body, right? Rowing is an excellent exercise for overall fitness. But because you're not used to weightlifting and moving your legs as much because of your sedentary job, rowing is, most people just don't get this. They think it's an upper body thing because you see the arms coming back. It's all legs and lower back, right? Yeah. Everything is legs and lower back. And if you're feeling it anywhere else except your butt, your hamstrings, and your quads, you are doing something wrong. The upper body is basically just going for the ride.
Okay, so I'm doing it right because when I do it a few days in a row, I have this section in one butt cheek that is screaming at me. I'm like, okay, hot tub, hello, I need you now.
Well, that's generally.
How do I work that in? Because I enjoy the rower. How would you recommend I work that in? My husband says you at this time need the impact of walking and the stair climbing over.
He's right about that. But, if the impact of all that is causing a problem, you could do it a couple of different ways. Just add it in instead of the stair day.
Okay.
Right, because the stair day is hurting you right now. So that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is sometimes split it up. It's like, well, I've been on I'm tired of walking on this thing for hours on end. Do a half an hour walking and do a half an hour rowing, like 40 minutes of walking and 20 minutes of rowing. Just split it in there. But your husband's not wrong. You need to be on your feet right now. You need to be pounding it.
Yeah.
That actually builds up soft tissue. And that's what's happening to you overall, Laura. I didn't want to get into it because it's boring shit, but your body is going, wait a minute. This woman who's been sedentary her entire life, this band nerd, is all of a sudden walking all the time. Okay, your body learns to handle that. Oh, now she's going up and down stairs like a crazy person. You know, your body needs time to learn how to adjust for that and build up. Bones and soft tissue need as much development as muscles do. We think about the muscles because we see the muscles getting bulbous. We can actually see it through the skin. You don't really see that with soft tissues and bones. And that's what you're working on. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. It does. Any idea? I mean, I know you're not standing here beside me listening to my knees or whatever while I do a squat. But any idea what that shifting and clicking could be?
Yeah, I know exactly what it is.
Okay.
Would you like to know?
That's why I asked.
I'll tell you right after I tell you about Jasper.
Okay.
Jasper.co. /Vinnie. Jasper, JASPR. There's no E in there. JASPR.co/Vinnie. You could get an air scrubber for your house. And I got to tell you, I have 2 of them here. Jasper made me a believer when I had this air scrubber in the same room. It wasn't right next to my rowing machine, but it was in the same room. I did 1,000,000 meters rowing last year, and I opened up the thing to clean out the impellers, and they were almost perfectly clean. Usually I got to get like 1/8 of an inch of gunge out of each one of those impellers. That's what would go into your lungs, folks. Then they send me a second one. I put it upstairs in my bedroom. And sure enough, my wife does not, well, I can't lie because I never lie to you guys. She used to snore so hard that I was pretty sure that the tiles were going to come off the ceiling. Now she might snore very lightly for like 30, 40 seconds while I'm sitting there writing tweets back to you guys. And then she stops again. The snoring has almost virtually gone completely. Jasper.co/Vinnie will save you $400 off of a Jasper air scrubber. $400 just by putting my name in, Jasper.co/Vinnie. Or if you forget to do it at the beginning, go to Jasper.co and at checkout, when they say promo code, put in VINNIE, no wimpy Y, and you will save $400, not 40%, $400, folks. At any rate, Jasper. Laura, would you like to know that what that clicking is?
Yeah. Can I tell a funny Jasper story real quick?
A funny Jasper story?
Yes. I think so. We have 2 of them. One of them is close-ish to our kitchen in the living room right next door. Yeah. Every time we cook bacon in the oven, the Jasper, we have it on the smart setting, and it goes crazy. It's like, what does Jasper have against bacon?
Yeah, and there's grease in the air. It's pulling that grease out of your air. You know, like I will do a thing. I'm such a hippie. I'm like an old hippie. If I want to freshen my breath up, I have an eyedropper in my bathroom, and I have food grade peppermint. So I'll pour a little water in a cup, and I'll put exactly 1 drop. That's all it takes. Food grade peppermint is strong. After I brush my teeth, I'll swish it. Swish it in my mouth and spit it out. The Jasper will pick that up. Like if I get it on my fingers, sometimes the smell of it, the smell of 1 emulsified drop of peppermint, I walk through the room, and Jasper, it won't crank up to a high level like bacon. But all of a sudden you'll hear, it cranks up like Jasper's going, hey, I smell that. I got that.
Yeah.
It's an interesting machine.
They're amazing.
Yeah. I'm shocked at how many people bought them and are still buying them. And they called me and they went, your audience is amazing. I'm like, well, I know that, but why do you guys think that? And they said, because some of them just bought 1, and then 2 weeks later they would order it, and they'd come out and get another 2 or 3. And I was like, and they were like, what is that? What are you telling these people? It's like, no, you gave me this incredible discount, and they know it's going to go away at some point. So they're going, wait, let me go get while the getting's good, because you get that 1 and you realize what it's doing, and then you go, well, I need more of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want anything else as far as a filter. It's like, yeah, this is awesome. So.
Yeah. And by the way, folks, I didn't put Laura up to this, but
No.
I don't get that much money from Jasper. Trust me. I get paid just by saying go to jasper.co. So I didn't get any extra money by having this conversation. You guys really want this product. I don't sell anything else unless I believe in it. So anyway, the thing that's clicking,
Yes.
that's nitrogen bubbles.
Nitrogen bubbles?
Yeah. Yep. Click, click, click. Yep.
How does nitrogen get in my joints?
Because your body's saturated at in being on Earth, right? Just being at sea level or whichever level you're at.
We're close. We're close.
Yeah, your body's saturated with nitrogen. So, wherever you have dried out joints or whatever, the ligaments and tendons and the whole thing, little nitrogen pockets can build up in there.
Mm-hmm.
So you know when you were a kid, like some people would blow bubbles with their gum, but other people would catch a little air in the gum and click it in their mouth. Like, remember those people that could pop gum in their mouth?
Oh, yeah.
By
And then
catching
we'll
air
teach
bubbles?
them this.
Doesn't that sound awfully close to what's happening in your knees?
Yeah.
Same thing, except one, you're clicking oxygen and nitrogen together because H2O. Not H2O, but when we breathe oxygen and nitrogen. That's just the nitrogen popping.
Okay. All right. And you said you weren't smart.
I'm not.
You are talking about whatever those nitrogen things are like.
We're saturated with them.
The
That's why when you go below the surface, like if you go scuba diving, let's say. See, this is why the women just went nuts over me. It's like, wow, tell me more about scuba diving on dates back when I was a kid. You go scuba diving, and every time you go down another atmosphere in the water, you become more saturated with nitrogen. That's why you can't just shoot to the top because you can get a little something called the bends. And that's why after you come to the surface, you got to come up slowly to the surface so your body can regulate. Depending on how long you were down and the depth you were down at, you can't just come up and hop on an airplane and leave the island or wherever you were. You have to wait until your body calms down and you off gas from all that supersaturation of nitrogen. Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. It's fascinating. So,
yeah.
Well,
yeah, that's why I got all the ladies when I was a kid. Yeah.
Talking cool stuff that nobody else knows.
Yeah, that's how you get the girls. Yeah.
At least some of them.
Yeah. 0 of them, right?
Let's go, girls.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. One more question?
Yeah, I got time.
All right.
You're a lot cuter than Bobby. He's coming in next. So.
Well, thank you. So kombucha, we're trying to make our own. And the batch we have going right now basically tastes like apple cider. What am I looking for flavor-wise once the SCOBY has eaten up the sugars that we don't want to consume?
Excuse me. Hang on.
I'm getting you choked up talking about the booch. Okay.
Sorry, I just had a coughing fit. So, all right. So it's going to always taste like that.
Always. Okay.
Unless you add something to it. So do you do a second fermentation after you make it in the big?
Maybe. We're thinking about it. I'm like, this is the first, what I feel like is a successful batch that I've done. And I'm still in
it takes a while because the first couple of times you go, oh, there's still sugar in here. It's too much sugar. It's too much. And then you get to a point where it's like, wait, this is cleaning alcohol that I'm drinking now. So you have to find that level. So you have to figure out how long to keep it in that first batch was making that second SCOBY. And it's usually, I found my happy spot to be around 15 days.
Okay.
But you could probably do it after 9 or 10 days.
Okay.
But then when you bottle it, right? Some people, you can bottle it and leave it on the counter and it'll start making another SCOBY. But some people will pour a little sugar in there, like a little teaspoon of sugar per 12 or 15, and then it will start eating up that sugar. right? So you get like that real fizzy, if you want to get that real fizzy thing. The other thing you can do is put a little piece of strawberry, like chop up a little piece of strawberry. Then you'll have like a strawberry flavor, like the essence of strawberry. But you have to leave it like that another 7 or 8 or 10 days.
Okay.
Or you're going to have like a real sweet drink. You have to give it time to ferment whatever you're putting in there.
Okay.
So the fruit sugar will take the place of putting sugar, period.
When you put that piece of strawberry in there, and I was thinking about putting a raspberry, how big is the container? Is it a gallon container or just a 16-ounce bottle?
Yeah,
Or?
no, you get. Do you have bottles to put it in? Are you bottling it?
Yeah, I think they're about a quart size.
The bottles? You could get 12-ounce bottles or 16-ounce bottles, and they got the little thing on top that.
I happen to find 4 at Goodwill that are a little bit taller bottle, and they have that same type of cap with the rubber seal on it.
But they're a quart each.
I think so. I'd have to actually measure it.
Okay, no, that'll work. That'll work. So obviously you have to put a little more strawberry in there, or raspberry, or whatever you want to put, and then you just let it eat up that sugar over the next 8 or 10 days. And you could do a little taste test, get a little, going back to the dropper, just suck a little out and put it on your tongue and see where you are. And when you get what you want, stick them in the fridge, and then it retards the effects at that point. Okay. It'll still continue to ferment a little bit under refrigeration, but it'll get pretty close to stopping it. And then you can just enjoy your kombucha.
Yeah. Do you ever release the tops on the bottles so that you don't have explosions?
I do. Some people do it every day.
Okay.
My bottles are really thick, so you would have to get a lot of pressure in there.
Okay.
But there's never really more than just a little, just little quick, and then you're ready to rock and roll.
Awesome.
Yeah, you should off gas them a little bit, but the more you could keep them pressurized, the more of that gas that will end up in the kombucha. Okay. The other thing I've done, and I kind of like this better, I make a real hard booch. So I'll do the 15 days to eat up all of that sugar, and it gets pretty vinegary, and then I'll put it in the bottles with no additional sugars or fruits or anything, and let them sit there for 10 days. And like I said, you come up with something real vinegary. And then what I'll do is, if I have like a 12-ounce glass, I'll put about 2 inches of the kombucha on the bottom, and then just pour soda water in it. And it's kind of a refreshing soda drink. And you don't have to worry about having some acid tearing up your stomach. It becomes a refreshing summertime drink.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. Awesome.
I do the same thing with kefir, by the way, and yogurt. People don't know that. It's an Eastern European treat. I learned it from a friend of mine that grew up in Tehran. You take yogurt or kefir, put it in a glass, add a little salt to it, a little molten salt or something, or whatever salt you like, and then pour. Redmond's works. Put a little soda water in there and mix it up. Now, the first time you do it, it's going to go all over your counter, so you have to go slowly. You have to figure it out. It's a refreshing drink. Matter of fact, I'll probably have one of those when I go upstairs later, because I'll be watching football. Yeah. And I've also done a thing where I've made an espresso, and I'll take the espresso, pour it in the kefir, and then pour the water on that. And it's kind of a bitter. I like bitter. Some people don't like bitter. It's kind of a bittery kind of coffee kind of thing going on. Play around with it. You might like it.
Yeah, I might. I'm not sure about the kefir with soda water, but you got me with the espresso.
You might like it.
Yeah.
You might like it. I'm telling you, I do it all the time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Vinnie, it's been great talking to you. Thank you so much.
The pleasure was all mine. Good luck with it all. And let me know how it goes after you do the Ireland hike.
Oh, we will. Most definitely. Thank you so much. Okay.
Enjoy. There she goes, folks. Yeah. Chris, I think we're on our last caller of the day here, Mr. Bobby. I'm going to bring him right up. I can't wait.
Go for it. Oh, hey.
How's it
Hey,
going?
how you doing?
You've been waiting patiently for a long time a long time. Thank you.
Well, I hope you give me some answers to what I'm searching for today. So I think it's worth it. So thank you for taking time and allowing me to be on your show. I really appreciate it.
I'm tired of talking. Chris, let's go. I don't want to talk to Bob. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I got answers. You got questions? I got answers.
So I'll just dig right into it because it's a long day for you as well.
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm kidding with you. I'd be here all day. I love talking.
And by the way, I'm in Virginia with you, so we're kindred in the same state. I'm in Alexandria, but we're.
We don't call that Virginia down here.
I know. I grew up in Christiansburg, if you know where that is. It's I tell people to exit to Virginia Tech. So,
did you guys get any snow flurries this morning? We had snow flurries over here.
We did, yeah. It was sleeting and snowing. I actually started the call and I was in Winchester because I was with my in-laws. It was my father-in-law's 81st birthday tomorrow, so we went to celebrate that and then drove back. And there was nothing out there, which normally they get a lot more than we get over. But, we got some. So I don't know. I'm still waiting for the big one. I've got a Newfoundland, and so she loves it, and I love the snow too. So.
Yeah. Newfoundlands are great dogs, man.
Oh, so great. Yeah, it's just unreal. But anyway, so my question for you is, so let me give you just a little backstory. About 5 years ago, I weighed in at 354 pounds, and I'm 6'5". Yeah, I did. Yes, sir. And so I went on a whole life change. It went from, I started physical because I was listening to David Goggins and it just clicked with me. And so I just went out and just ran the weight off essentially. Right. So I got all the way down to 180 and then I started lifting weights. So I don't know if you're familiar with Mind Pump. So I started doing some of their programming and basically stopped cardio. And part of that was because I have neuropathy from the knee down. So running is difficult to begin with, but I was having like a nerve singe and I kept falling. Anyways, all that's just backstory. So what I was trying to do was I was trying to gain bulk. And so I was lifting, really heavy, took my calories. My maintenance is around 3,200. I bumped it up to about 4,000. I eat very clean. I will say, I know it's not your plan. I'm a baker, so not professionally, but I love to bake. So I do set my own sourdough bread. But really, other than that, I don't eat sugars. I don't eat, I do eat a little bit of rice on lifting days because I think it helps me recover. I'm like a 6 to 7 days of lifting, or I was. So anyways, my point is I was trying to gain muscle mass. So I did a body scan back in 2024, and I came in at about 12% body fat. And I took one in December to see where I was going, and I now I'm at 17.8, and I lost muscle mass along the way, even though all I do is lift. Like, I'll do 4 weeks of high reps, lower weight, of course, and then 4 weeks of medium reps, 4 weeks of and vary the exercises, right? I mean, it's a full program, full body. And I'm confused because I think I'm doing everything right, but I've gained weight. So I went from around 205 to 213, lost muscle mass and gained fat. And I just wanted to hear your thoughts on what I might be able to do or try to, get myself lean again, because I feel better when I'm a little at a lower body fat. I didn't like the bulk I was putting on. I should have said that too. But I mean, I'm gaining muscle. I mean, you say the mirror is the best scale. Well, I'm starting to get the look that I want, the chiseled look, that sort of thing. But like, I don't understand where this fat's come in, and I want to know how to get it off.
Okay. Whoa, there's a lot to unpack here. When you took your first scan, 12%, what machine was it?
It was a DEXA scan. It was the same machine, and then one previous to that, I was even down at like 9% body fat, but my weight was substantially. So I went at the first scan, I was at 194, and then 205, and then 213. So I went
all done on the same DEXA scan.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you look in the mirror, are you looking at the results you want, or are you seeing a tire around your waist, or what's going on? Let's talk shop here.
Yeah, no, there's no tire around the waist. I'm, like I said, I'm gaining the muscle, my chest, I mean, again, when you go from 354 pounds to now, I can't believe where I'm at. But I kind of want to get that jacked look or ripped look. I don't know. It's weird because I was able to operate at 300 something pounds for years. And now that I'm around the 200, 215 range, I think I can go higher in weight and still keep my body fat low, but I don't want to keep this trajectory if I'm gaining body fat and not muscle. So it's weird because the mirror shows me one thing, but the scan saying another. And I know there's a lot of science.
I'm wondering if that scanner is correct or not. Because the DEXA scan is the gold standard, right? So you're
Right.
using the right equipment, but that doesn't make sense. Are you getting stronger? Like your bench press, your squats, your like whatever you're doing. Are you lifting heavier weights overall?
Yeah, I mean, I did do a bodybuilding program for a while, which is more to get the chiseled, and I do think I lost minimal strength. So like my bench went from like 250 to like 240, sets of 2 or 3. But I haven't really tried to another thing too is, I'm 47. So it's like, do I need to deadlift 500 pounds? I kind of was cutting it back just because, like I said, the recovery time was so long and stuff. So I don't know if maybe I cut it back too far on the weight. I needed to go heavier for a while again.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things that's troubling me here. By the way, go watch any videos on Ronnie Coleman back in the day,
Yeah.
and Ronnie Coleman today, and then give me a call and tell me if you should be deadlifting anymore.
Well, I agree with you. I saw that video of him that they did on Netflix or something, and yeah, it really scared me because just because you can lift that doesn't mean you should. Now my body's designed. I mean, I'm 6'5", so and I have very long arms. So my deadlift is my best lift. My squat is my worst. I use an excuse that it's my neuropathy, but it's kind of weird when you're squatting and you don't feel your feet. So I never go heavy on squat. I never go over 300 on a squat. I just don't.
Does your gym have a belt squat machine?
No, because my gym is my home gym, which I've got racks. I mean, it's pretty.
Whose rack?
Well,
which rack do you have? Who makes the rack?
Man, I couldn't even tell you. It's probably a no-name brand I picked up at Dick's.
Dick's has what's that brand they have? You call Rogue in a couple of these companies. You might be able to add a belt squat situation onto your rack.
Okay.
You might have to modify a little bit by drilling a couple of holes towards the bottom. But go look at the belt squat. Chris, were you saying something?
If it's from Dick's, it's probably Ethos.
Yeah, and Ethos is made in the U.S., I think. And Ethos might have a belt squat attachment you can add to it.
Okay.
Since you can't feel your legs, you probably, and that'll protect your lower back even further.
Okay.
To be honest.
Good. And I've never had back problems. I've never had really any kind of major. The only injury I've had in the last 5 years was I got tennis elbow from my Newfoundland jerked me one day on a walk. But yeah, so I mean, I'm pretty injury free. I just, like I said, I didn't want to be a Ronnie Coleman. I didn't want to be some of these broken bodybuilders that I've seen. And I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not competing. It's purely, right. I'll tell you what it purely is, Vinny. It's pure ego. I'd love to see a 6-pack at least one summer, because that would be the crowning achievement of where I was and where I got to. So I, and I don't mind doing cardio. I have a Concept 2. I've got one of those, air bikes. I've got one of those treadmills that you propel yourself. So
cool. Yeah, I like those.
Yeah, I do too, especially when you're doing HIIT or something like that. And again, I missed running so much from the mental aspects that it's got.
Yeah.
I've just combed it down. I won't go run 20 miles anymore, but I'll go run 2 or 3 miles just to clear my head. So I'm not, I mean, when I say I didn't do cardio, I just went from running hundreds of miles a week to probably running like.
That was a smart thing to do, because what that guy's getting people to do. I'll never forget that first year when that book came out. I went to Badwater, Cape Fear, because my buddy Chris Kosman owns it. And all of a sudden, I saw a bunch of new faces, a bunch of young guys in the whole thing that don't look like they ever ran in their life. And they're out there. And I was like, Chris, where did these people come from? He goes, oh, they all read that stupid book, and here they are, right? Because he tells you, you don't have to do anything. You just wrap some duct tape around your leg. I kept running. I broke both of my legs. That's okay. I found an old Snickers wrapper, and I wrapped it around my leg, kept running. Okay, dude. None of that happened. By the way, I kicked your ass in the 508. Just throw that in. It's probably best that you didn't keep doing that. But where you are, you're in a good spot right now. I just want you to stay in a good spot and not get hurt. In order to see abs, and you're talking about a guy who had to make a living with his abs at one time in his life, you're going to sacrifice strength, because in order to rip up like that, even every bodybuilder will tell you, even the natty guys like Robert Sykes and some of these guys that win competitions, natty, right?
Right.
They will all tell you, when you're cutting down to get to the abs, you're going to lose some strength, no matter how hard you're working out. I used to be down in Gold's Gym right before, the IFBB Pro competitions would come up, right? And you always knew when a competition was come up, because Gold's Gym down in Venice Beach would smell differently, right? Because you could smell, they were all in ketosis, and you could smell it, and they were all painting themselves with this stuff that had a chemical smell, so they can all look brown, right? And those guys would go from throwing around 500-pound bench presses, and they would, be struggling with 250, right? And it's just what is what it is, right? When you want to rip up, that's going to happen. No two ways about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, it does, and I mean, it's probably not the most healthy thing to do either, right? I mean, especially when you're not competing or going to.
No, to stay super ripped like that, it's not healthy at all.
Yeah.
Right? You just want to get to where you can see a 6 or an 8-pack. You don't want to get to where you got veins running through, like you'll see on Instagram and all this. And by the way, they're all taking drugs to look that way. You don't want to get into that.
No.
Right? That defeats every purpose of why we're doing any of this.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So, anyway.
Well, where do you like body fat percentage for men? I mean, I know it varies by height and stuff, but I mean, like I said, I mean, I've got pretty good muscle. I mean, I've got 170-ish pounds of muscle on me. That's I guess that's, I mean, I'm sure you have more than me, but at the same time, it's.
No, I don't, because I only weigh 175. Look, I always say that I've always felt my healthiest at right around 12% body fat. I used to get much lower when I was cycling all the time. I would be in that 8, 9.
Right.
And that's like Olympic gymnasts get down to that, right? And you just don't feel as good that low. And by the way, I have great abs at 12%. I'm at 12% right now. I'm ripped, right? If I get down to 8 or 9%, you'll see a lot of muscle going away on my body. You'll see, I feel weaker. If anyone else is catching a cold, I'm catching a cold too. That sort of thing. I'm trying to find a photo that I can show you in the camera here of myself. They changed everything here.
I know they do that all the time. right when you want to show somebody something too.
Oh man.
I agree with you. I think I felt the best when I was at the 12%. So maybe I just got to calorie reduce and, bump up the cardio, the gentle cardio that I can do, and, and just give it 2 or 3. The thing is I'm not scared of doing the work because I enjoy it. Right. I mean, I'll try anything for any, I'm the kind of guy, if someone says, oh, hey, did you hear about this workout program? I'm interested to try yours. I got to get on those programs and see how those are, because because I think we're all truly an N of one. I know a lot of scientists say that, but we are. You got to do what's right for you. But if I do it and I can tell somebody, hey, try this out, this may help you, other than taking drugs or anything like that, I'm going to be clean on it. But
yeah. By the way, I came across this photo. It's not the one I was looking for. Can you see that?
Yeah.
I'm probably 10% there, 10, 11%. And like people with the calipers, they would register that at 2.5 or 3%, which is way wrong. Right.
Okay.
That's DEXA scan, about 10%. I want to show you what 8. So you saw what that looks like. If I can find here what 9% looks like, you'll go, oh, geez, this guy needs help. Right. But it's hard for me because I should keep all these photos in one spot. But
yeah, that's what I had to do that for my weight loss, because people don't believe me when I tell them I weigh 354, and now I have before and after shots. But while you're looking for that, I'll encourage everyone who's listening, if I can do it, anyone can do it. I'm not special. I'm just a normal guy. And that's what I don't want anyone to be in that spot. I know that's your thing, to help people. And I thank you for that, because it's nice to have good voices of reason like yours out there. But it's possible. All things are possible.
No, I appreciate hearing that. And you've done an excellent job. I mean, 350, did you say 355?
Yeah.
Dude, you got to be so proud of where you've come. I mean, you don't look like a guy that's ever weighed or ever had a weight problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
So that's got to feel good, right?
Oh, I'm telling you, I mean, it's a whole life shift. I mean, mentally I was out of the game. I was doing everything to please others. And it was like, it was at the rock bottom, as most people when they make major changes. But fortunately, it's weird. I mean, David Goggins, and I know he's extreme, but he's what I needed to hear at the time. Now, would I tell anyone to do that? No. But you know what? I like the concept of, try it and see where it takes you, because I did, and it took me beyond where I wanted to go. And then I was able to build back up. But had I never tried that to begin with and had that mentality, I would have never gotten what I did. So I would, he's probably you and him and a couple other people I'd stop in an airport and say hi to, but normally I'd leave people alone. But I like what you're putting out, especially on the diet and the clean eating. I mean, we need more of that in the world. But anyway, my point is like, it's possible. So you can do more than you think you can do. And that's what you told yourself, hey, I got the last caller that, go to the gym and just do one set. I mean, there were days where I would just like Goggins would just look at my shoes and be like, I don't want to run. Well, one day it changed from I have to go run to I get to go run. And then I'm sadistic. So I would find those snowy days that we talked about earlier, and I'd plan my run to be out there when it snowed or the coldest or whatever, because I thought I needed to suffer and I didn't. Anyways, I'm off the point. You're looking for the picture. And
no, but that's exactly the point. It's, I give David Goggins a lot of crap, but he's done a lot of good for a lot of people. Right. Yeah. And because he pulled himself up by the bootstraps and has done a great job. And he talked to you right when you were ready to hear it. Right. Yep. And that's all that matters. I did find and it says right here, I was at 8.2, which means I'll put that on this photo because I was at 8.2. And you'll see I don't look quite as good there as I looked at 10. Yeah. Right? Look at my shoulders and everything.
Right.
Now, that was right after one of my 508 races. Right. Okay. So, I didn't keep any muscle in my upper body. I was talking about that a couple of weeks ago on these Friday call-in shows. The guy was talking about doing Leadville 100. And I said, yeah, if I did that, I would have, I would want to drop about 15 pounds. Unfortunately, on my body, I don't have much fat I would have to drop 15 pounds of muscle and my upper body would look like this, like I was getting ready to be in a film about Auschwitz. Right. I mean, look at my shoulders. You can see my shoulders.
Yeah, sunken. Yeah, flat.
It's ugly. And by the way, I used to have to get actors ready to go do those kind of movies where they had to be, it's like this guy's on heroin, or this movie, this guy has AIDS, and all these different things. I would have to get these guys to look like that. I can't say exactly which actors, but you could probably do some math and get there. But yeah. Yeah, it's you could get there. Don't worry about what the DEXA scan is saying. Look at the mirror, see how you feel, think about the weight, right? Think about what you're lifting. Am I losing a lot of strength trying to get there by cutting down on my, too fast? Look at all these things, Bobby. That's what's going to make a difference.
So you're a proponent of keeping as much strength as humanly possible and
slowly lose the extra fat to get to where Rome wasn't built in a day.
Oh yeah.
Lean
100%.
body mass is the most expensive thing in the world, and you can't buy it with money.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, no, like I said, I'm not looking for a quick, because I've done it, right? I mean, so what? I'm a little heavier than I've been in 5 years, but like all of my pants fit, all my shirts fit. Yeah, they're getting a little tighter where you want them, like in the show. Maybe not this sweater; it's a little loose, but it's getting a little tighter where you want it and not where you don't. But it's yeah, well, that helps me out. I mean, like I said, I don't want to put too much in the DEXA scan, but I was working so hard over the summer and into the fall, and I just thought I was going to gain like 5 to 10 pounds of muscle, and I was just shocked when it came back.
That's a lot of muscle, bro. That you 5 or 10 is something your age. That's a year. If you get 5 to 7 pounds in a year, that's the other thing. People think, oh, I could just throw all this muscle on. David Goggins, the first time I saw him in that first Badwater 135, before anyone knew who he was still built like an animal, man. He had just come out of the military. He was built like an ape. Nobody thought he would finish. He was this big giant dude. I'm sure you've seen that photo. He's got like that shirt on. And now look at how lean he is, right? It takes a long time to get there. It takes a long time to put on muscle. It takes a long time to take it off, right? So keep that in mind.
Okay. Well, I do appreciate your time and for the reassurance. And again, thank you for everything you've done. I've been a fan of you since I heard you, I guess during COVID on Adam Carolla or something like that. I don't know how long I've been listening to you, but it's been a while. And you're a great voice. And just thank you for letting me be on your show today.
That's why I'm glad I have people like you on, man. You really give me a boost to my my ego. That's very kind of you.
Anytime, just let me know. I'll come on and give you a boost. But
yeah, honey, I'm not feeling good today. Can I call Bobby again?
Yeah. But as one of your other episodes, would you remember my number? So maybe
Yeah. It's like, let me just give Bobby your number. Be just like my wife's number. I'll just have it on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, there you go.
I did a Jasper ad, right, Bobby?
You did, yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
That's right. We talked about it. Villa Capelli, folks. Villa Capelli is the longest running sponsor on the show, and that's for good reason. We sell a lot of Villa Capelli, but there's a reason, because it's 100% pure olive oil. Go get Villa Capelli right now and save 10% by putting in promo code Vinnie, VINNIE, no wimpy Y. Villa Capelli, let them know we sent you. We were talking about workouts here with Bobby, and you could go get my workouts. Maybe Bobby should go get my workouts right now. Get off of this whole crazy thing he's on. Go get the Vinnie workouts at VinnieTortorich.com/workout. VinnieTortorich.com/workout. We have a 2-day routine. Bobby wouldn't be interested in that. A 4-day routine. He's probably thinking about it. No, he wants the 6-day routine. Or he could get all 3 for the low price of 2 workouts. That's right. You could get all 3 and you get 1 for free. So go check it out at VinnieTortorich.com/workout. Okay. On behalf of Chris and Bobby and who else did we have on? Laura. My name is Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living and do it with enthusiasm.